All right, good evening, folks. It's time to get our public hearing underway. Public hearing for ordinance 2024-7-1, ordinance 2024-7-2, and ordinance 2024-7-3. It is the ordinance 2024-7-1, rezoning of the Savage property from C1 to R2. Ordinance 2024-7-2 is the public hearing on the food trucks. Ordinance 2024-7-3 is a sign ordinance. And briefly, I can brief you on some of these. Mr. Savage has been on the ordinance 2024-7-1 rezoning the Savage property. Mr. Savage was present at the Planning Commission, and they recommended this to the Board of Aldermen. It passed on the first reading. So the second reading is tonight. So we'll go ahead and start with that. If there is anyone here that would like to speak to the ordinance 2024-7-1 rezoning of the Savage property to C1 to C2, to R2, sorry, this is your opportunity. If there's anyone here. Yes.
Ron Lane. I live at 611 North Hillcrest. Two questions, please. What's at that property right now?
Mr. Savage, I think it's
just empty ground?
Yeah, there was a trailer there once, and then there was a camper put there years ago and moved. It had utilities already there on that one.
Okay, that's behind that old truck place, right?
Take her from that volunteer, the new mini warehouse.
Okay. And then the other question, were there any variances on this particular rezoning?
There wasn't any variances. I don't think he was asking for any variances.
Good deal. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lane. Any other question on this public hearing on the rezoning of the Savage property from C1 to C2? All right, we will move to the ordinance 2024-7-2. The only thing that has changed here is the time or the days that you're going to be able to have food trucks in Livingston. It would be on Thursday and Friday, the first and third week of each month. It'd be the Thursday and Friday, the first and third week of each month. And we will have legislation drawn up on that for you all in September to be prepared to pass or add amendments or whatever you'd like to do.
Good question.
Yes, sir.
Why are they just limited to 2 weeks?
Well, we went from 0, and so we thought this would be a good start, and that's what we had in there. And we don't want to do anything to take away from folks that have restaurants. So.
Well, I personally, I don't think they're going to hurt no restaurants to begin with, and these folks is just trying to make a dollar. I mean, I know what you're talking about. I don't have a problem with them being 7 days a week, 24 hours a day if they want to. I mean, you go to Google, they're on every corner down there. You go to Nashville, they're at all your major malls and everything else.
Mayor, I got one more question on that.
Yes, sir.
What's the city going to benefit from it?
Well, the city, in this legislation, we will get some money, it'll be a permit fee, about $150, something like that. You know, help our locals and maybe even get some tourism dollars for folks coming and following this food truck.
Sales tax revenue
Yeah,
from it as
yeah,
well?
yeah. Well, yeah, they have to pay that, yeah, sure.
In over the county or
Yeah,
the city?
yeah, that's right,
Okay.
yeah. Yes, sir, Mr. Lane.
Ron Lane again for the record. Are they currently prohibited totally at this time?
They are currently prohibited totally at this time.
Oh, good. And just a general question, who's the Livingston recorder? You. So I guess that changes next month?
That changes this month, yes, 26 days, I think.
If anybody's
Yeah,
counting.
I think that's right, Mr. Lane.
Thank you.
You can direct all your questions to Mayor-elect Lori Elder Burnett. She'll be glad to hear from you. All right.
So on that, we can do any amendments in September?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
That's right. I mean, you can always amend an ordinance. Of course, if it passes tonight, it will be as is. But if you want to make amendments after that, then you can at any time.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, public hearing on ordinance 2024-7-3 on the signed ordinance. And truly, this really just brought us up to codes to where we needed to be. According to our attorney, which Mr. Greppin is here right now, we was kind of all out of date a little bit. And so with new laws that are passed, he's got us up to speed on where we need to be. And that's why the upgrade of the sign ordinance. Mr. Lane.
Of course. Counselor, could you give us an example of something that's coming out? What is it that we're doing that's contrary to the Supreme Court rulings now?
What we are primarily concerned with is.
Andre, can you step in? Sure. Mr. Lane, if you'll give me.
Mr. Lane, what we are primarily concerned with is what's called a content-based restriction on speech. So we have modified our sign ordinance to only deal with and restrict size and location of different signs and certain features like flashing or moving signs, things like that. Whereas prior to this, we had different categories of signs that were treated differently based upon what kind of sign they were, meaning the content of the message. And what the First Amendment case law says is that when you treat two messages differently, you better have a really, really, really good reason for doing it. Otherwise, it's unconstitutional. And we don't want to violate anybody's constitutional rights. So the ordinance that we had was, I mean, almost too dangerous to enforce. A lot of it really wasn't enforceable, and it's just because it hadn't been updated in so long, and the Supreme Court case law has surpassed it, and it's about time that we've caught up. So that's what we've done. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Anyone else here to discuss any of the ordinances in the public hearing? Okay, I'll close the public hearing, call the meeting to order. I'll ask you to please stand for the prayer and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ron, you can't raise your hand already. I don't have a question. I need a motion to approve the minutes of last month's meeting.
I'll make the motion.
Motion made by Alderman Bill Linder. There's a second.
Second.
Second by Vice Mayor Ken Dotson. Any discussion? All for the motion, let it know by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion pass.
We need to do that.
Yeah, let me back up here and do roll call. Phyllis, please call the roll.
Alderman Clough. Alderman Dale. Here. Vice Mayor Dotson.
Present.
Alderman Elder.
Here.
Alderman Langford. Here. Alderman Linder.
Here.
All present except Alderman.
All present, but Alderman Clough. We had a motion and second. Let's go ahead and throw that out. Need a motion to approve the minutes of last month's meeting, please.
I'll make the motion.
Motion made by Alderman Bill Lenders, or a second?
Second.
Second, Vice Mayor Ken Dotson. Any discussion? All for the motion, let it know by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Public comments? No public comments. Addition or deletions to the agenda?
I have one. The grass clippings, there's people throwing out on the road when they mow. When it rains, it's really dangerous.
Yeah.
I don't know what we can do, but
Well, I would think that comes to a public safety, and I think that can be enforced by the chief of police. And any time that you're throwing something out on a roadway that is causing a safety hazard for motorized vehicle, then it comes a public safety problem, and that is handled by the Livingston Police Department. Chief? Yes. Can you come to the podium, please? Would that be an act of disorderly, or would that be, how would that be handled? Do you know? I know I'm putting you on the spot, and I apologize, but.
We always, if we have anybody that does that, we go back and ask them to remove the clippings and all, because it is a road hazard, and we can cite them for that also, if they don't concur or go by, because it is a hazard to the roadway. So we would ask them to come into our city court under a cause, to give a cause to the judge then, why are they throwing the clippings in there, to depend, and the fine is $200.
Thank you.
Yes.
Have you received any complaints, Chief, or?
We have had a couple, and it was on Tar Heel Road that we went by and made them come out and remove the clippings from them. They did so. They just went out there and blowed it back into the yard there. Yes, sir, we have.
No, wasn't me.
Thank you, Chief. Appreciate it. Does that answer your question? Okay. There's laws in place, and folks can just call in, and police department to take care of it. Okay, under old business, ordinance 2024-7-1, rezoning the Savage property from C1 to C2. I don't know why I keep wanting to say C2, it's R2. So it was passed by the Planning Commission as recommended to the Board of Aldermen, passed the first reading, had the public hearing, and we're ready to have the second reading on this ordinance. Motion made by Alderman David Langford.
I'll second that.
Second by Alderman Bruce Elder. Any discussion? All for the motion, let it know by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion passed. Item number 2, ordinance 2024-7-2 is the food trucks. We had the public hearing on that as well, passed on the first reading. This one would be the third. On any of these ordinances, always remember they can be amended. They can be amended at a later date. Do I hear a motion to pass this ordinance?
So moved.
Motion made by Alderman Rex Dale. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Vice Mayor Ken Dodson. Any discussion?
My only comment would be, the way we're proposing this now is roughly 4 days a month.
That's right.
For simplicity's sakes, if it sticks with 4 days a month, I would recommend we do it on the same day of each week, so you don't have to remember, are we in the first week, the second week, the third? If you always had it on Friday, you'd know it's Food Truck Friday, or if you always had it on Thursday, but that's for the next council to consider after this.
Ken, you got 26 days too? I'll agree, though, what you're saying, so. All right, got a motion and a second. You got a motion and a second for this? Motion and a second. All for, any other discussion? All for the motion, let it know by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign, motion pass. Item number 3, under old business, ordinance 2024-7-3, sign ordinance. Again, this is second reading on that. We had a public hearing. You heard from our legal counsel that said this is basically just getting us back up to speed to where we need to be.
Motion to approve.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Ken Dodson.
Second.
Second by Alderman Bill Linder. Any discussion? All for the motion, let it know by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign, motion pass. New business, item number 1, downtown revitalization, Mr. Gene Gant and Ms. Shannon Cantrell. Gene?
All righty, I've got a copy here. I think all of y'all got a copy of this very lengthy report that was sent to us by Ray Evans today. Highlights of it, if you want me to go over that. We're still working on it. It's not finished yet. We're still trying to resolve some right-of-way issues on the sidewalk grant, the very first one there. The second one, the courthouse project, still a few items remaining. We've got, this week we're getting letters from Upper Cumberland Electric and Twin Lakes to obtain concurrence letters to satisfy TDOT. On the third item, the Transportation Alternatives Program grant, Cedar and Little Streets, that contract with TDOT is in place, and we'll be soliciting requests for qualifications from at least 3 engineers this week. So hopefully we'll have a recommendation at possibly by the September board meeting, according to Ray. The next item, the fourth item there, is a traffic signal modernization program around the square. Livingston was selected by TDOT to have pedestrian signals installed at the 3 intersections around the square. And the mayor's executed that agreement with TDOT, and the state is paying for this, so there's no local match required. The last item is the site development grant that's off of my plate, but it's on that as well. Ray provided that. Let everybody know this weekend, August the 10th, is our last concert in our series at the Central Park from 4 to 9. We have 3 groups playing there, and this is a ticketed event. Beer and wine tasting, and everybody's invited to come out and enjoy it. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Gant. Any questions for Mr. Gant? Okay, thank you, Mr. Gant. Okay, nothing from the chamber. All right, item number 2 under new business. Ms. Hudson from Magnolia River is not going to be with us tonight. She's had a blowout coming up here, but she's fine and safe. So we'll put her on the agenda for September. So, but she just texted me a minute ago. So that'll take us to, Phyllis, make a note on that, put her on there in September. So that'll take us to Mr. Greg Davenport, J.R. Wofford and Company. Greg, are you available? Greg Davenport, can you hear me? Amanda, come on up, please. Miss Amanda Maynard, Grassroots Planning, she's part of this project as well.
Hey there. What we have tonight is a part of the infrastructure planning grant that we received. It's $50,000, and we had the bid opening last week. There was one bidder. It was United Systems Software, and of course, this $50,000 is for zone meters, which is also a part of the SRF project, okay? So this will take the zone meters, it'll be $50,000 to go toward, but we will not have to pay it through the SRF, okay? The grant was $50,000, and of course, our match is the $17,150.
Okay, sorry, I was communicating with Davenport. He said he's trying to talk, but we can't hear him.
Is the computer, we're not muted on our end.
I don't think we are, but,
You're showing up pretty good there, Mayor.
yeah. Greg, can you hear us now? Let me get him. That's all right, Rebecca. Let me get him this way.
That's the old-fashioned way, Mayor.
That's the old-fashioned way, buddy. It still works. Yes, sir.
I appreciate you letting me phone in, Mayor and councilors. What Amanda's describing is the United Systems is supplying all of your automatic meter read meters, which is being funded by one project is the American Rescue Plan Act. It's already bid and it's under construction. The other project is funded through SRF, and we're waiting approval from them. But Amanda and our firm helped Livingston secure this $50,000 grant. So what we're doing is we're pulling the zone meter cost out of the SRF project so we can take advantage of this 50 grand. And Livingston's match on that will be $17,150. The total bid was $67,150. So Livingston will have to contribute $17,150 to take advantage of the $50,000 grant. If we don't spend it, it'll just go to waste.
Yeah, yes, I will need a motion.
Motion to approve.
Let me say this, we are approving this contingent upon a contract extension through, as long as ECD makes this approval, that will be our contingency.
All right. I hear a motion after that, too.
Amend my motion to add the extension.
Yes. Motion by Vice Mayor Ken Dotson. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Alderman Bruce Elder. Any discussion? Roll call vote, Ms. Phillips.
Alderman Dale,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Dotson,
Yes.
Alderman Elder,
Yes.
Alderman Langford,
Yes.
Alderman Linder,
Yes.
motion passed.
Motion passed. Greg or Amanda, you all have anything else?
Thank you.
No, sir.
All right, thank you. Have a
Thank
good
you.
night. All right.
Bye-bye.
All right, item number 4, Safe Haven Baby Boxes. We have with us today Miss Laverne Craig, Chief Rocky Dial, and Chief Ray Smith will be part of this as well.
Good evening.
Good evening. If you can push your button there.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, sorry. Good evening. Thank you for allowing me to come and talk to you about Safe Haven Baby Boxes. I'll try to be concise and not too long. So, in the state of Tennessee, in 2002, the legislature created and passed a law called the Safe Haven Law in Tennessee. And at that time, every fire station, hospital, and police department became a safe haven location for children. That means that a woman could walk into one of these facilities and just pass her baby to them. In 2021, we went back to the legislature and And in 2022, there was a new law created to allow safe haven baby boxes in the state of Tennessee. I don't know if you have a clue what a safe haven baby box is, but I'll try to explain that very quickly. A safe haven baby box is a box that is a temperature-controlled box that is placed into the wall of your fire department, your police department, and what it does is it allows a place for a woman to go, and she can open the door, she can place her baby into that safe haven baby box, and it is all done anonymously. She can put that baby in there and walk away. Once she shuts the door on the baby box, that door is locked, and the only way that baby can be retrieved is from the inside of the box, of the facility. At the time she places the baby in the box, it has a 3-prong alarm on it.
Can you take an excuse? My apologies.
That's okay. It has a 3-prong alarm on it. So when she places the baby down into the safe haven baby box, which is it has a snap-in bassinet, it's a clear bassinet like you see in the hospital. Like if you went into the hospital and saw a baby put into a bassinet, that's what fits inside of this safe haven baby box. And like I said, it's temperature controlled, but when the woman places the baby in the box, it has a beam across it, and when that beam is broken, it automatically sounds an alarm at the fire station, also calls 911 simultaneously, and it also rings on the box of like the fireman or the police department. So, and it says very loudly, "There's a baby in your box." And so the importance in doing this is that we are trying to prevent women from placing their babies in dumpsters or trash cans or whatever because they have nowhere to go with their baby. These are usually women, usually very young women in crisis. And currently we are in 18 states, and Tennessee happens to be one of them. We have 10 baby boxes that are active in Tennessee, and we have had 50 babies in the boxes so far. I worked in Knoxville and put a baby box in there 99 days after the baby box was activated at Station 17 Fire Department. There was a healthy newborn baby boy in the box at 2 a.m. He was 30 minutes old, and he still had the cord and the placenta attached to him. So these are women that are in crisis. These are babies that are in crisis. The important thing about this baby box, and this probably very important that you would hear about this part, there has been a fund set up for the state of Tennessee by a private donor, and this is all run through Safe Haven Baby Boxes. It's a 501(c) up in Woodburn, Indiana, and there has been a grant given to them specifically for Tennessee, and your city was targeted through the helps of Representative Ed Butler, and because of that, your box has been paid for if you want one. So it's been fully funded, and that's about $20,000. So, I'm sure you probably have lots of questions. I've just kind of run the gamut. Did you guys get something in your packet, the state law? If you look on page 2, and this is usually a very important part, under H at the bottom paragraph, it will talk to you about the fact that there is no liability to any first responder or to anyone that is in any kind of situation that has anything to do with the baby. Once there's a baby in the box, the first responder it calls 911 simultaneously, so an ambulance comes to the fire station, the baby's placed in in an ambulance, taken to your local hospital. Department of Children's Services takes custody of that baby as soon as it goes in the door and it's placed with a family.
Is there no cost from now on?
Well, it's a 5-year contract, and so your cost has been taken care of for the 5 years. That means that that this grant will pay for your baby box, for the delivery of your baby box, for the $500 maintenance fee for each year, and for the security monitoring that has to be done on it. We pay them a contract up front for 36 months, and we pay that fee for 36 months, and then after that, it's $41 a month. So basically, it runs, after we pay the initial fees, it's about $1,000 for the last 2 years. And so we're willing to cover those costs if you guys are interested in a baby box. I would recommend that you contact, or if you're interested in it, Knoxville is getting ready to have their 3rd baby box placed in their police station. We have 2 in fire stations, one in the county, one in the city, and then we'll have a 4th one in a new fire station that's going out east beyond the zoo out there. So, and then there's other ones in different locations in Tennessee, and 11 more that are in the process of being done. So it's a very, it's a very good thing. There's really no downside to this. It's just a community resource for women and for babies.
Thank you, Ms. Craig. Chief Rocky Dowell, Chief Ray Smith, and I met with Ms. Craig last week at the police department, fire department. We have identified a spot in the public safety building that if the council wants to move forward, that this box could be put into. Now, I think there's this is all anonymous. As Ms. Craig said, not to sound redundant, but this is all anonymous as far as the mother wanting to put a baby in the box. We cannot have any cameras on this box that makes it complete anonymous, and the alarm would sound. And it appears that someone has gave us a grant in the amount of $20,000 for Livingston to have this baby box. So the council just needs to vote on this and give us permission to move forward or not. Any questions?
Yeah, please forgive this question, and heaven forbid that this were ever to happen, but what if the child doesn't survive, or if the child is deceased when first responders come to it? Is that funeral service or whatever, then who's?
No, that would be turned over to the District Attorney General's office at that stage, if there were ever a deceased child placed into the box, because that is a criminal type of situation. So that would go a whole different route.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions for Ms. Craig?
Motion to approve.
A motion by Vice Mayor Ken Dotson.
I'll second that.
Second by Alderman Bruce Elder. Chief Dowell, you and Chief Smith feel comfortable with this? And
Yes.
okay, we have a motion and a second. Both police chiefs, for the record, are in support of this, or both chiefs, one police, one fire, are in support of this. So, got a motion, second. All for the motion, let it know by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion pass.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Craig.
Thank you.
Item number 5, property maintenance update. Mr. Christian Mansell is not here. Miss Beth Stevens is. I think Mr. Mansell has COVID-19, so. Go ahead, property maintenance update, Miss Beth Stevens.
Hello. Since the adoption of the property maintenance regulations in March 2019, we have had 270 properties in violation. Currently now there are 266 in compliance. 4 are still in violation at this time. 1 is state-owned, is litigation with the heirs. 2 have had the liens placed on the property, and 5 were cleared by the city. On the abandoned, wrecked, dismantled vehicles, and the slum clearance, and the junkyard, nothing has changed from the prior report last time. Everything's still the same on that.
Is there any questions for Miss Stevens? She's really wanting to answer a bunch.
Thank you.
Thank you, Beth. Good report. All right, give me item number 6. Where is Mr. Rutherford's? Did I not hear that?
Right here.
Yeah, I think you leave me out, Hackett. Let me have that.
Don't leave.
I go through this thing, I just don't think All right, item number 6 under Codes Enforcement Officer. I think as you are aware, Mr. Mansell has been promoted, or lateral move, however you want to see it, to the Street Department Supervisor. So currently, right now, he's doing codes enforcement and Street Department Supervisor duties. So we have advertised for the position of Code Enforcement Officer and Building Inspector. We did that through the local paper and in Indeed.com. Had a total of 9 candidates that applied for the position. 3 chose not to show up on the date of interview. So again, I went to the leadership team along with Mayor-elect Lori Elder Burnett and conducted interviews. And the one that was selected was Mr. Walter Seaborn Rutherford. You have a copy of Mr. Rutherford's resume that is in your packet, and that is who the committee recommended, and that is who that Ms. Burnett and I recommend to this Board of Aldermen. Any questions? Front and center, Mr. Rutherford. I don't think you'll have to say anything, I don't think. I don't think they're going to throw darts at you or anything, any hot questions. If there is any questions, Mr. Rutherford, be happy to, like I said, we went through the process, advertised the position, and Mr. Rutherford came out on top in the grading system that we use, so. Yep, we need a motion.
Motion to hire Mr. Rutherford.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Ken Dodson.
Second.
Second by Alderman Bill Linder. Any discussion? All for the motion, let it know by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion passed. Mr. Rutherford, do you wish to say anything to the council?
Yes, I really appreciate this opportunity, and I look forward to serving the city of Livingston.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rutherford. Item number 7, ballpark utility vehicle. This is a bid that we budgeted. This is an item that we budgeted for the ballpark. It's just a utility bid. We did advertise for bid, got one bid in only, and that was Norris Super Cycle at $16,063.98. It did come in within budget that we had, and we just need to approve it.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Bill Linder, second by Alderman Rex Dale. Any discussion? All for the motion, let it know by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion pass. Phyllis, you got that painting bid? Item number 8 is the painting bids on the Twin Lakes building. It came in, looks like 16,000 is a magic number tonight, but we advertised that for bid as well. It came in at $16,760.38. Had one company that bid on it, it's Holland Painting Company, $16,760.38. This will be split by the Downtown Revitalization and the City of Livingston painting the Twin Lakes buildings down on the South Church.
Just for clarification, this is the building that we now occupy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Motion. Yeah. Motion to approve. Motion made by Vice Mayor Ken Dotson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Bill Linder. Any discussion? All right. All for the motion, let it know by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. All right. Motion passed. A couple of announcements. The August 9th is the Farmers Appreciation luncheon. Our fire department will be serving lunch. That'll be August the 9th, 11 to 1 at the farmers market. What is the price on that? Also, the auction that was held on the city's surplus, the total there brought in $27,240. $27,240 is what the city surplus sale brought in just this past week. That's all the business I have, but I want to tell everyone it has been a great pleasure for me to serve you as your mayor of Livingston. I know Ken Dotson is going to be rolling off as well, but on my behalf, I've always done the best job that I possibly could, putting Livingston's best foot forward, and that's always been my goal. And I think that we've came a long ways, and I think that I pray we continue to go the same way. But I just want to say thank you publicly to everybody that has helped me, and I've still got 26 more days, I think, here in office, but this will be my last city council meeting unless something comes up and we cross our fingers, nothing does, but that's where we are.
I want to say it's been an honor sitting on the board with you two. Been on the board.
Push this button there. Yeah.
I'd like to say it's been an honor to sit on the board with you two. I've been on the board for roughly 10 years. 8 of them has been with Ken. I really appreciate the opportunity to work with you two.
Thank you. Any other business? Ken, you got anything you want?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion made by Ken Dotson to adjourn. Is there a second? Second by Rex Dale. All for the motion, let know, saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. We're adjourned.